Did you expect to see what you've seen out of Justice Haynes? And
You know, I don't. He's faster than I thought he was. But to say that we expected certain things, expect him to come in here and compete and play at a high level, and which he's doing and has done since the day he's gotten here. So I'm glad he's with us.
where have you seen him? Because obviously guys do improve over the course of time here, but where have you seen him actually make those strides?
Yeah, I would say just I think his leadership qualities are getting better and more enhanced, I should say. As he's becoming more comfortable in his space, if you will. But yeah, he's a student of the game. He's in this building all the time, watches a lot of film. He's a film junkie, if you will. So yeah, he's been great. He's been great in the meeting rooms. The players have embraced him as he's embraced them in the culture. And like I said, he's a joy to be around, a joy to coach.
Right here, Tony.
Yeah, I wonder if you could assess Jordan Marshall and what you've seen from him.
Yeah, Jordan's been great. He's done a great job. He's very selfless and just a unselfish player. That he came in with all these people talking high accolades as far as what the expectations were, and he's met those expectations as far as we go within the building. He's a great teammate. Has he given up some carries for the betterment of the team, and obviously Justice is taking those carries, and he hasn't complained one bit. He's been great. He's been great in the meeting room. He's a leader. I'm not displeased with the way he's playing because any opportunities he gets, he does well, and so it's been working so far.
Yeah, so I guess that was my follow-up. They came in as 1A, 1B, right? They weren't
Right.
even 1 and 2, but is it just that Justice has taken it to such a
Yeah, I think that Justice so far through 5 games has done exceptionally well. And we kind of like to say we go with the hot hand, and he's in some regard had the hot hand, if you will, and so we've gone with it, and that can flip and change at any moment, as we know. So we feel like we got 2 guys that can really go in and play as starters. We still believe that and hold true to that. And one guy's gotten more opportunities right now as we've sit so far.
The back left, Alejandro.
Sharon mentioned that Justice, when he entered the transfer portal, that you were his first phone call. I'm wondering if you could take us back through those conversations, the relationship you guys built up.
Yeah, they were real short, actually. He and I have had a great relationship dating back to when he was a junior in high school, whatever year that would have been. I mean, it's been, 4 or 5 years now. So yeah, when he decided to go to portal, he called. He said, "This is what I want to do. I'd like to be coached by you." And this happened to be where I was at, and so it worked out. I won't go too far into detail with all of it, but kind of roundabout, that's how it went.
On the right, Charles.
Yeah, Sharon compared Justice to guys like DeMarco Murray and Blake Corum. Does he remind you of anybody from your past?
Yeah, I try to shy away from comparisons. I do. I don't think that's fair. And again, that's just my own personal. I don't want to compare him to other players that I've had. I've been very, very fortunate in my career that I've had some outstanding players. When I was at Ohio State, had some really good guys. At Notre Dame, had some really good players. I think every man's his own guy. And that's what I wanted to be. I just wanted to be the best version of him and not like somebody else. Or, I could name some really good ones, but I try to shy away from that.
Yeah, and Sharon also kind of started the Heisman buzz for him.
Yeah,
what do you think you've seen from him that makes him deserving of that?
Oh, I don't know. Listen, I don't decide on that. That's what you guys do in the media, and you're the ones that make comparisons and who should get what award, who shouldn't. I just want to get better. I just want to go play the best we can against USC, and the chips will fall where they fall. And what I want from him and everybody in that room is just be the best player that they can be in the moment, and then the rest of the other stuff will take care of itself.
Right here, Aaron.
In those early conversations with Justice about coming here, did you get a sense that he felt like he was underutilized at Alabama?
Let him answer that one. Yeah, let him answer that. I don't want to speak for him or what he thought or how he felt about his days at Alabama. I would be unfair for me to comment on that. I think you should ask him those questions.
But from what you saw in film and what you knew about him, did you feel like there was another gear from him that was possible before he got?
Oh well, we're going to do what we do, and we run the ball, and those carries are going to be shared as he knew coming in, and he's kind of taken off with some things. But he's earned what he's gotten too. It wasn't like he came in here. We talk about those conversations we had. The conversations wasn't about you're going to come in and you're going to be the starter. You're going to get all the carries. That was never part of the conversation. The conversation was you're going to be a part of this culture, a part of this room. You're going to integrate into how we do things and what we do, and you're just going to be one of the guys in the room and in the locker room, and then what you do with it from there is entirely up to you. But so again, what happened prior to him coming here? Can't speak on that. I can just tell you, since he's been here, he's been great.
Brian?
I understand the nameless, faceless opponent's mindset, but like on paper, it seems like USC is probably your toughest opponent until Ohio State. In what ways do you think this Saturday's result or game could be a defining moment of the season?
Well, I do. I think every game's big, and I like your words on a faceless, nameless opponent. But we're playing a really good football team. And they're well coached. They've got great tradition, and it's an iconic venue. We're going to be playing in the Coliseum. Lincoln obviously have those guys ready to play. They got some really, really good players, athletic guys. Their linebacker crew, I think, is really good, as are their defensive ends. So this is a big game for us, and they're all big, but this is the big one, and hopefully, we can go out and take care of business and kind of go from there.
On the left, Chris?
I was going to ask you about the run defense. What have you seen from them specifically, and any comparisons to Oklahoma, or are they different?
I think they're different in some of their structure, but as far as their athleticism and guys that can make plays, are similar in that regard. Again, they have some big-time players and some high-end guys. Those two defensive ends, they can collapse pockets. I think the linebackers are extremely athletic guys. And particularly Gentry. He's is he 6'5", 6'6", 2 1/4, whatever. But he's athletic and can run from sideline to sideline. I think 23. Desmond is a physical guy, and then their nickel back. He's number 7. He's a really good player. So they got really dynamic players, but it still comes down to just executing and do your 1/11th, as we like to say, and see how we go.
Brandon?
When Justice got here, did you think it would be closer to a 50-50 share between him and Jordan? Did you always kind of want to have one guy?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I hadn't really given a ton of thought to it until we really started going. But originally, I would have thought it would have been more 50-50. But as the season's progressed, it's kind of flipped a little bit and kind of slanted his way a little bit. And again, that's not to say that someone hasn't done a good job. I think it's really attributed to the success that he's had, and he's excelled in some areas. And like anything else, if somebody's doing well, you continue to give them those opportunities. And he's shown some big play potential in every game. Every game is some big run. So he's shown the ability to be able to take one to the house pretty much at any given time. So, but he's done a good job, not just in that aspect. We got to continue to work on some other things, but he's done a good job holistically within our offense.
Yesterday, Andrew Marsh was talking about how he was trying to recruit Bryce Underwood and flip him from LSU, and went to one of his games. In this landscape of college football, how prevalent do you think it is for recruits and current players to assist?
Oh, it's critically important. I believe the last time I spoke to you guys, I talked about the best recruiters we have are players. And I think that great players, they want to be surrounded by other great players. And so, they want to know who the guys are going to be hanging out with in the locker room, in the apartments, in the dorms, and spending that time away from the building, who they spend the time with. So I think when those guys are able to befriend one another and speak on the culture that they see it, because those kids tell the truth, I think that's critically important to know who you're playing with and who are going to be the guys that are lined up against or lined up with you every single day. I think it's critically important. And so getting those guys involved is very, very important.
Zach?
As you guys kind of get into the bulk of the Big Ten season,
Yeah.
Justice is playing really well, and Jordan's doing what he does too. How much room does that leave for some of the other guys in the room to come in and play?
Yeah, that's a great question. You always kind of have that third and fourth guy prepared to play, right? And you never know when that time's coming. When they tap you on the shoulder, you got to be prepared to go in and play. We talk about competitive excellence, if you will, and but they just got to be ready. And there's only one ball to go around, right? There's only one ball to go around with the running backs. Generally speaking, there's only one guy in the game at a time. unless you do some personnel things, of course. But that third guy, fourth guy, they've all got to be prepared to go and play. And the key component is, how do you practice? Because you can't have a letdown, especially in the Big Ten as we get into the thick of the season, as you said. So they got to be prepared. And how do you go about your practice habits every day? You know, Coach Martindale talked about it best. And I think he worded it the best when he talked about your practice habits become your game realities. And so it's my job, our job as coaches, to make sure that our players are practicing at the standard that's needed.
Got time for a few more. We'll start with Angelique.
Tony, you mentioned
I couldn't
that-
wait for you. You always got something good. What do you got?
No, not usually. I would prefer to talk to your mom. But,
that'd be a dandy. Go ahead with that. See how that works out.
you said that Justice is faster than you thought he was. Is
Yeah.
it because you didn't see it, or has he done something?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I got to be honest. I mean, I knew he could run, and he would tell me he could. You know, that he had those things, but I didn't. I got to be honest. I didn't see it. You know, and I didn't see it last spring. I started to see glimpses of it in the summer, during training camp in particularly. But yeah, and that's not to say that I thought he was slow, but he's faster than I thought he was, just watching him from afar before.
So has he done something to increase?
I don't listen. I don't run with him, so I don't know. I don't involve myself in that. But whatever he's done, just keep doing it.
On the left, Alejandro.
You guys, throughout the year, have sprinkled in a bit more outside zone.
Yeah.
Last game, you guys had like the sprint out draw a couple times. Are those planned weeks in advance? Is it figuring out what the offensive line can do? Or
Yeah, I think it's just like anything else. You know, that's part of your offense. You have a multitude of things that you can do. And our players have gotten pretty good at those particular things. There's some things, obviously, defensively that we saw that we thought those plays would work, obviously, and so that's a lot of game plan stuff. But yeah, that's been a bigger staple than it has been in the past, and the kids seem to like it too.
Last question here.
I was going to ask about the outside zone stuff too. How much of that do you think has helped to unlock Justice?
Oh, it gives you opportunity to get in space a little bit. You know, I mean, you're not jamming everything in between the tackles. So it gives him an opportunity to kind of get the ball on the perimeter somewhat, which all of a sudden you get him in one-on-one situations. We believe he has an opportunity to win those at a pretty high rate, those one-on-one battles. And I think it's all about matchup stuff, and you know, where do you put a ball at in the infrastructure, what you're trying to do in the offense.